In the past few days, I've been seeing this whole drama around the Streamer Awards VTuber category award just continue to proliferate as people are mad that TheBurntPeanut won the award, and then people who are his fans and some people that aren't even his fans are just like mocking VTubers, taking it as an opportunity to make fun of them for being mad or just in general. The usual stuff, calling it goon bait, slop, whatever, criticizing the models for being like big titty anime girls or lolly or Shota characters, etc. And my whole take on things was that it didn't even make sense why people were so mad in the first place. The Streamer Awards are just this award show created by one of these LA streamers, QT Cinderella. It's pretty much a circle jerk. Me and my friends, we're going to give each other awards based on what we did in the previous year. I don't really consider it to be some serious and legitimate award show that anybody should care about. And I think that a lot of the people that get rewards at shows like this, people like Queso who never even show up to these events, also don't really care about stuff like this. And it's like, if you get nominated, cool. If you win an award, then cool. Maybe send in some message pre-recorded in case you win. And I think that that's the way to interact with stuff like this, because it's really not that serious at all. But what ended up happening is that everybody just started seething over the fact that TheBurntPeanut, who yes, does technically count as a VTuber, he's using a virtual avatar that tracks his movement, they're upset about the fact that he won this award, and they're even accusing him of being a hater, when the Peanut's never really been the one that's hating on VTubers himself. Like, I understand that he personally doesn't like being categorized as a VTuber, but VTuber is just a term and he fits under the umbrella. Like, it's probably because of the connotation that it has of like some big titty anime waifu that's like sexual in their content, doing the girlfriend experience or whatever, something like that, that he thinks that he doesn't really want to go along with. Like, he's not a part of the community, which is fine. I mean, I don't even like looking at the VTubing space as like a community in the first place. Like, for example, I don't think that Hololive talents have anything to do with a bunch of indies, especially on the Western side. It's more of a medium, and there are a bunch of people that happen to use VTuber models and create their own content, and TheBurntPeanut is just one of the biggest in that medium. Community is pretty funny because we don't say the just chatting community, we don't say the IRL streamer community, but for some reason we hear people saying the VTuber community as if using a virtual avatar to stream makes you part of some community. Like, looking at this tweet that Ironmouse made talking about the situation, I mean, some people agreed, I agreed myself, and then a lot of people were mad about this, where she said, me cringing at all the people mad that Peanut won, every VTuber in that category deserved to be there. So for anybody who didn't see it before, these are the 5 nominees for Best VTuber, streamer who uses a virtual avatar and creates the most entertaining and engaging content, with the nominees being Kenji Chibidoki, Ironmouse, TheBurntPeanut, and Mori Calliope, and obviously TheBurntPeanut won. I've only started seeing this guy's content in the past few months, and credit where credit's due. He's been absolutely blowing up. He averages more than 35,000 viewers on Twitch and another 30k on YouTube. These are huge numbers. He has a lot of impact, and other people in the category weren't really doing that, so it's not really crazy that he would win something like this if he gets nominated for it. And to all the people trying to push this message that he was hating on Ironmouse, he even made this tweet in response to hers. Thank you, Ironmouse, and congratulations on your spectacular performance at last night's show. This is the guy that everybody's trying to say hates VTubers so much and disrespects them. If he himself wants to categorize himself as a P-tuber, P for peanut, instead of a VTuber because of the connotation that comes along with it, he's free to do that. That is absolutely not the same as him slandering VTubers, no matter what anybody on Twitter or anybody from his chat go online and say themselves. That's not what he's saying. And then there's been these terminally online parasocial cornballs like this that are going out of their way to even attack Ironmouse for giving props to TheBurntPeanut and even acting as if there's no way that she could actually believe her words in giving props to him, and that she's only doing it for PR purposes. Of course, because every other time that somebody else wins, she could give congratulations to the winner of that category, but when it's TheBurntPeanut and a bunch of people for some reason don't consider him to be a real VTuber, then all of a sudden it's for PR purposes and she's only disrespecting herself. This dude says it's not the fact that he won, it's the fact that him and his audience insult you, spit in your face, laugh about it, and you will praise and congratulate him. That's really embarrassing for you. And it's really interesting to see people try to make this deeper than it is. Like, this award show in the first place doesn't even matter, and the Best VTuber category, as well as a lot of other categories in this award show, are going to be more of a popularity contest, and TheBurntPeanut by far and away was the most popular nominee. It's also an obvious misnomer to claim that TheBurntPeanut is spitting in the face of VTubers when he's not doing that at all, but there's always been a lot of people that don't like VTubers and think that they're weird, and they think the fans are weird too. And that's fine. What's the problem there? They don't like it, and they're not trying to enter the space. They're going to stick to the things that they like. They're not trying to enter the VTubing community and say that it needs to change to be more along the lines of what they would like. Nobody's entering and trying to change it here. They're staying on the outside and making fun of you because they don't like it. And Mouse congratulated Peanut, not random chatters and people that in a lot of cases aren't even really his fans, but they want to crap on VTubers because they just don't like VTubers. Which is why, again, I don't really understand why people in the VTuber space are so mad about this. TheBurntPeanut himself did not not spend time hating on VTubers or hating on any of the nominees at all, regardless of what random people from his chat said. I mean, yeah, he streams to like an average of 70 to 100,000 people total between Twitch and YouTube. There's going to be some people who don't like VTubers that much in there. There's going to be people who do like VTubers in there. There's going to be people who are indifferent. But when you have posts that are trying to call him out for not being a real VTuber and being illegitimate and winning this competition that doesn't even matter in the first place, then yeah, then obviously you should expect that people are going to retaliate at that. Like, you're trying to call this an illegitimate thing that happened, and he's not a real VTuber and all this crying. I mean, he does technically count as a VTuber. If you start seething on the timeline over an award like this, then people are going to make fun of you. That's just how it goes. Like, dude's unironically over here calling Ironmouse a spineless coward because she dared to give congratulations to the Peanut, which was the same thing that Chibidoki and Mori Calliope decided to do as well, because it's just being a good sport, and it's not really something that they care about, but a bunch of people are getting mad on their behalf or mad on behalf of the community, which is just so strange, especially when Peanut himself was never hating on any of these VTubers at any point. Doesn't matter if Shroud said that he should try to get nominated because it would piss VTuber fans off. That's not the Peanut hating on VTubers himself. Which, by the way, Shroud has to be smiling from ear to ear seeing all this go down. I know that he's laughing. He's having a good time. He's vindicated in his belief that the VTuber community would have an absolute meltdown seeing this guy, TheBurntPeanut, win this award that doesn't even matter much in the first place. Here's another insane take, this one by Proctor Z. I'll dare to say it, if Ironmouse wasn't seriously ill, she'd be an average flesh streamer and hate VTubers. The only reason she is one is because that's what her life circumstances forced her to be. How else should I interpret her choosing to spit on the medium whenever possible? And the short bus gains another occupant, making up a headcanon to just be more mad at Ironmouse for giving congratulations to this guy for winning an award is such an insane thing to do. This guy has absolutely lost the plot. You're attacking Ironmouse now, not even TheBurntPeanut or any of his fans or any of the people that hate on VTubers. You're attacking Ironmouse, one of the nicest VTubers in the space, one of the gems when it comes to Western VTubers. And it's like, what does she do? She uplifts people, she streams to her community, she raises money for charity in the millions of dollars. Of all the people that you could hate on in the space of VTubing, all the ghouls, all the people that are only in it for the clout and not really very nice personalities, you choose to hate on Ironmouse because she didn't disparage TheBurntPeanut or just stay quiet out of spite for him. Like, what are you, retarded? Rhetorical question. We already know the answer to that. And this is my problem with all of the people that are crying about TheBurntPeanut winning this competition. It didn't matter to begin with, but then they're going to take it so far as to trash on Ironmouse and trash on other VTubers who give props to TheBurntPeanut for his accomplishments, and then make these coping seethe posts where they say the only reason why he won is because there's so many people that hate VTubers, they came together to make the real VTubers lose out of spite. Like, no dude, he won because he's more popular. I'm pretty sure if you take all the other nominees and add up their viewers, TheBurntPeanut averages more viewers, and that's not to say that that's the only metric that something like this is or should be decided by. It's just to point out how stupid the arguments are that this guy isn't legitimate and shouldn't be considered when it makes sense that he was nominated, and it also makes sense that he can win something like this. And for these indie VTubers and the VTuber fandom to be seething about this so hard, so angry about it, that they would even go so far as attacking Ironmouse and calling her fake and saying that she would hate VTubers and never be in the medium if she wasn't chronically ill is just insane. And then we get into the conversation of gatekeeping. Now, if you know me, you know that I actually support gatekeeping. I think that it makes sense for a community to protect itself and what it actually is and what they stand for, rather than letting in a bunch of people that kind of like certain aspects of what you're a fan of, but they considered a bunch of things to be problematic and say that it should be changed to fit their interests more, and remove all of those weird elements so that it can be more appealing to a larger audience. I think that ruins communities, and especially when we're talking about games that try to do this, they try to appeal to people that aren't their core audience. The end product just ends up becoming way worse. And with anime, you see it a lot too, like, oh, I like Chainsaw Man, but I wish it wasn't such a gooner anime sometimes. Or, oh, Mushoku Tensei would be good if the main character wasn't Rudius, something Diddy and Epstein. I do think that people like that are dumb and that gatekeeping is a pretty necessary thing, and this image pretty much explains my thoughts on it. But when it comes to the Peanut VTuber winning the VTuber award at the Streamer Awards show made by QT Cinderella, which doesn't really matter, and a bunch of people just making fun of VTubers and their fans, I do not see how gatekeeping is relevant in the conversation here. For example, Kitsunero made this post saying, "Full honest, I used to misunderstand the word gatekeeping, and I was pretty stubborn about it too. Classic woman moment. For some reason, in my head, it meant never letting anyone else in, no matter who. What it actually means is not letting bad actors into your hobby/community. This is all fine and dandy to say, but the problem is that the people that are making fun of you and roasting you are not people that want to be a part of the VTuber community. They're not trying to enter it, they don't want anything to do with the space, and they're making fun of VTubers and people who are fans of VTubers. What is there to gatekeep? You're literally in that position that anime fans were in the early 2000s where it's weird and everybody makes fun of you if you say you watch anime. Are we gatekeeping awards at QT Cinderella's friend group Circle Jerk award show? Are we gatekeeping people out of the VTuber community that don't want to be a part of it and are making fun of it? I don't understand why gatekeeping is even being referenced here. And when I see stuff like this, it just comes down to people are seething over the fact that this guy won the award. They're so mad for some reason. And I keep trying to understand why, but it just comes down to I think they care way too much about this award show and they're bitter that some guy is so big who just has a shitty peanut avatar and doesn't really care about the VTuber medium even though he is one, and he just doesn't really care. He does his own thing. He has all these viewers and his model looks like it costed no more than like $5 in a bag of chips. Meanwhile, a lot of traditional VTubers spend like thousands of dollars on their art and then the rigor to like actually make the model move around, and then they have this like huge wait time, sometimes more than a year for debut, only to be completely shut up by a guy with a literal peanut avatar who doesn't really consider himself to be part of the medium even though he literally is. He's a VTuber. He just doesn't want to associate with what like people really think of VTubers to be, which is like, you know, I mean, sexual anime girls, which I'm not simplifying VTubers down to that, but that's what a lot of people tend to think about VTubers. The point being that there's nothing to gatekeep here, and the reason why the peanut is popular is because he's funny and he's entertaining, which is somebody who has covered a lot of these dramas and looked at VTubers that have some pretty terrible personalities. I think it's something that a lot of people could take notes on. I think about people who have talked about on this channel, actual tourists who say things like lolicons and lolly stuff should be removed from the VTuber medium. That one misandrous groomer named Misere VT that nuked her account after she got outed for e-dating a 17-year-old while being 23 and married. If this guy, TheBurntPeanut, wants to distance himself from what is typically thought of to be what VTubers are, then I do not blame him. And I'm a fan of VTubers myself actually, because a lot of them are funny and just genuinely entertaining. I've been watching Hololive since like late 2019. But we just gotta be honest, there's a lot of parasocials as weirdos in this space, people like these guys who are trying to slander Ironmouse over giving Peanut props, people that are way too deep into the girlfriend experience. They get really mad when their Oshi talks to a male and they start trying to cancel the VTuber for that. I mean, that's happened a lot even in Hololive. And when I look at this situation, I don't see people who are trying to enter this space and change it. I see a bunch of people who are making fun of VTuber fans for being the way they are, which if your goal is to gatekeep and keep the medium the way that you want it without anybody trying to alter it, then you've really accomplished that. No, what is there to be mad about here? The only thing that you would be mad about is people making fun of you and calling you predators for liking lolly stuff, I guess, which that's a valid thing to be upset about, but it has nothing to do with the conversation of gatekeeping. So to sum up this entire situation, people are taking something that doesn't matter way too seriously and trying to make this some faction war between the normies and the VTuber fans over an award show that doesn't really matter, a category that doesn't really matter either, and doesn't change anything about the popularity or success of any of the people nominated or not nominated, and now leading to people hating on Ironmouse and calling her a doormat because she dared to give congratulations to a guy who wins in the category. Some people unironically need to take a shower and seek employment. I'm starting to understand why WestJet starts every video with massive day for the unemployed. But anyway, you guys let me know what you think about this whole situation down in the comments below. If you found this video useful, then hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.